Go ahead and get started, and we'll call to order the executive session of the Clarksville City Council for January 31, 2013. It is 4:30. We will begin with the agenda. The first item on the agenda is the Planning Commission, and I know we have Audra and Dr. Ripple. I don't know which one is going to present, so all right.
We better have.
Ms. Smithson, you are recognized.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Most of you probably are aware of this, but just for clarification, Ordinance 56, the Rita rezoning case has officially been withdrawn and will not be heard next Thursday night.
Councilman Allen, did you have a question about either one of those two?
No, I had a question. Actually, I guess it's just a procedural question. The 56 that was withdrawn,
Yes, sir.
will it have to wait a year before it comes back up, or can it be brought up again?
It can be brought up again, but it has to wait 1 year from the date he submitted the application to our office, the date that we accepted the application. So the way I see it, he cannot reapply to our office until December 2013 for the Planning Commission meeting in December 2013. The only other way that it could be brought up again, it would have to be approved 3/4 majority by you all to have the case reheard.
Councilman Harris?
Just a basic question. Then what would the advantage be for an individual to withdraw it, and why didn't he just, I'm just curious. I mean, I thought the purpose to withdraw would to prevent that 1 year delay from occurring, but you're saying it doesn't?
Mr. Rita had a lot of concerns about the opposition, and he just felt that at this time it was the right thing to do.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not pertaining to the case itself, but I'm saying if a person withdraw, you're saying they got to wait a year before they resubmit.
That is
If
correct.
they withdraw. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, there was one item, but I think it's taken up under the finance report, so I will report on Thursday.
Finance Committee, Councilman Wallace.
We've got next on page 44, you've got Ordinance 65. That is for, at this point right now, the city does not have an email archiving system. What this does, it would take about $39,600 from the general fund and would amend the budget so that we would be able to make a purchase of an email archiving system. And I think a lot of it has been explained to me is that, you know, we need to be retaining this stuff, certainly from a perspective of a legal perspective. If we got in a situation, I think courts could come down on us hard if we're not archiving these emails. And I know Lance can talk about that if you guys have more questions about it, and I know we have somebody from IT here if you have any specific questions as to that.
Councilman Summers.
Just a couple of questions. I thought we had some archiving capability already built into the system, don't we? I mean, it may be limited.
We'll
but
call
yeah,
IT forward. I think we do. It's just not as extensive as we need.
And the backups are active, and we do our rotation cycles on the backups. But if you delete an email from your mailbox, once that rotation of backups is done, 6 months from now, that email's gone.
Okay, so we're on about a 6-month rotation right
Yeah,
now.
depending on the storage capacity, it fluctuates, but
Right,
roughly
I mean,
that.
since-
But we have document retention that in some categories requires 7 years. So you can imagine if I was trying to back up and hold backups for 7 years, how much storage space. Archiving system will actually take every email coming in and out, stick it in a separate spot, and users will have individual access to those, and there's a lot of other pieces, parts to it. But we can set retention factors on that archive system to cut it to whatever internal audit and so forth comes up with.
I was thinking we had 5 or 6 months from when I visited y'all.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, given that we've got that much time, is this not something that could wait till the next budget? I mean,
Well, we've asked for it twice in the last 3 years and haven't gotten it, and some issues came up this year, and That's up to y'all. But
I mean,
yes.
if this was a killer, I'm just saying, you know, if put it on the next budget round instead of trying to spend the money right now, I guess it's, anyway, just, I appreciate the info, thanks.
Thank you very much. I will say, Councilman Summers, that I felt, based on what I have learned about our current backup, that this is extremely important, especially to the legal department, and the ability to be able to justify to a court that we have a backup system that will retain emails if someone accidentally deletes. Otherwise, you've got to have folders set up for every different type of email that can be researched, and I just don't think that's possible, and I'm just afraid we're going to get caught in a situation where a court might say to us we didn't provide the proper backup. So, Councilwoman McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mayor. I understand the need for this, but would it be okay if I asked our finance director where we are in fund balance? We just did a big purchase out of the fund balance on Tuesday night, and I just wondered where we are.
Absolutely, and she did give the Finance Committee that recommendation, but for the benefit of the whole council, Ms. Frazier, if you want to come and let us know where we'll be with respect to the fund balance.
So with this ordinance that we're speaking to, the $39,000 ordinance, our fund balance should be at $18,402,051, which is 22.5%.
Which is above our 20%.
Above our 20% requirement.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Seeing no other questions on that one, last one I've got is ordinance 66, and that's
Seeing none, we'll move on to the last item under new business. That's Resolution 35, 2012, 13. Councilman Allen.
Yes, there was a change made to this, and I think Sylvia got it out. I got it on mine. Basically, when you look at the zoning ordinance, the intent of the zoning ordinance, what was intended to me in this particular situation was clearly spelled out. I don't think there was any objections as far as, or any thoughts as far as whether or not what was meant in the zoning ordinance. Lance has spoke to us about it. We've all been briefed on it. I just feel that that we should follow through with this action to prevent any future breaking of the zoning ordinance. And I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Councilman Wallace?
maybe less of a question, more of a comment. I guess I would, if we're going to pursue this, I would probably want to have some sort of closed session to consult with the city attorney on this, and that doesn't necessarily happen today, but if before we vote on this, I would want to do that.
All right. We'll do that next week before we actually vote on the ordinance. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move on to the next item, and then we'll recognize any member of the public for public comments. Does anyone have anything else? Councilwoman McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mayor. After Councilman Wallace's comment about a closed session with the city attorney, I would like to probably explore that today rather than next Thursday before we vote, if nobody else objects. With that,
I don't see any objections, so if we could, let's, if there's no other agenda items to come before the council, any other matters anyone wishes to bring to the council's attention, then we will go into closed session, and when we get through with the closed session, we'll have to go back into session, and we'll recognize any member of the public for public comments at that time. So at this point,
Can we do the regular first?
all right, I've been advised that we can go ahead and adjourn and recognize anyone that wishes to make public comments, and then have the closed session at the conclusion of the public comment period. So I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Properly seconded. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
opposed say no. We are adjourned, and at this point, any member of the public that wishes to be recognized for public comments, please come forward. Yeah. That's right. It's going to wear red. All right. Seeing no public comments. Oh, excuse me. We do have someone that wishes to be recognized for public comments.
Okay, so the closed session's about Patrick Place. My name's Rachel Rutland. I've tried to talk to most of you, and since you're going to go into closed session now, I'd like to, say a few things if I haven't had a chance to meet with you yet. So, basically, I don't want to go into detail of what's in the packet because you got the packet on the December 27th, but I'd like to make emphasis that the law was ignored here, and that several residents tried over the preliminary stages to let the Planning Commission know, and I appeared before the Planning Commission several times to let them know, and through several emails, countless emails, and so we're not asking for anything that's not already in the law as it is written, so please consider that, and please understand that the home to the middle class is their biggest investment, and I hope you'd understand that as well. And so many of the adjoining homeowners will be especially damaged in this case. The residents didn't do anything wrong, and although the adjoining residents have equal rights under this standing, I don't believe it's a matter of principle that the citizens should bear the burden of enforcing the law. That's the leadership of the government's job to do. So I hope that you have the personal courage to enforce the laws, the integrity to uphold the laws, and the honor in carrying out its duty. I heard on the videotape from Tuesday that character is a big deal to a lot of people, so let's show the character of the city here, and do what's right by the citizens of Patrick Place and future citizens, because what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. So that's all I have to say for tonight, but please just consider that in your closed session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rutland. Is there anyone else that wishes to be recognized for public comment? Seeing none, at this point, we will go into closed session.